On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk, women even care because a lot of women that I know that make a lot of money, right? They're more concerned with companionship than they are with about earning, right? So what happens is a lot of times they are confused about the idea of how marriage works. And so they'll talk about looking for a partner instead of looking for a husband. But at the same time, their mindset and approaching it is completely different than what it is that you framing it. Now, when you talking about a dude that's, finessing a chick, we talk, listen, that's kid talk. We grown over here. We're not talking about none of that. We talking about men that's moving intentionally when it comes to relationships and getting married. And so when you start to have that conversation, men ultimately are intimidated because they know what they can and can't get overwhelmingly. Of course, you're going to have the dudes that move with a level of confidence that they feel like they can get any woman in the world. But the overwhelming majority of dudes don't even approach women.
Do men get intimidated by successful women?
I think certain types of men do. Only certain types.
Can you explain that, please?
Yeah. I think men who are insecure or men who maybe have never had any luck with women or have a hard time approaching women or, feel like they themselves aren't at the place they want to be when pursuing said woman. I think those types of men might get, intimidated, but I don't think that just every man does. Like all types of men will approach any woman. So I don't think that it's like a just any man thing. It's only very specific types that get really intimidated.
All right. Yeah. Really? Do men get intimidated by successful women?
Hell no. Not intimidated by no damn successful women. They intimidated by masculine women. Fuck y'all talking about. Like, dude's not intimidated. Yo, fam, listen.
So are you saying no man? Your statement right there saying no man ever?
In my observable eye, and I'm on record as saying I fell under the leadership of women in my career path, right? I know other people. Listen, anybody that had a job where you punch a clock, you done fell under the leadership of a woman too. Don't front. And I'm sure you wasn't looking at her sitting up there saying, "I'm jealous of where she at."
I think the last time I fell under the leadership of
JR.
I'm gonna be honest. I was working at Papa's, right?
Not Papa's.
Yeah. This is in high school. Like I worked for Papa's for 2 days.
I'm dead.
It was 2 days. So I'm over there.
Why was it only 2 days, JR?
Because I'm frying the chicken, right? And she's sitting over there. She came over there trying to rush me to fry the chicken. I said, the chicken got a time on it. What you want me to do? You want me to bring the chicken uncooked? And so she just kept nagging at me. I said, you know what? I said, I gave her 2 middle fingers. I said, fuck you.
Indeed.
I said, fuck you, I'm out of here, man. And then I came back the next day and I was trying to talk to the manager, like, man, they like, nah, we can't have that. It's over. I told her, fuck her too. I was pissed. But I'm like, how the hell she gonna rush me to cook the damn chicken? It's a time it's dropped down. You gotta wait on it.
Hey, man.
2 days.
Hey, chat, if y'all in here and y'all from Chicago, just so y'all know, JR from the low end.
2 days.
So I said it all to say, man, like that the authority of woman didn't go too well. Go ahead.
Right. But JR, is this question for the dating aspect? We're not talking about the working aspect. We're talking about the dating in a relationship aspect.
I know.
Right?
I'm gonna bring it home for Jerome. Q.
No, I was asking JR.
I know. I'm gonna bring it home for Jerome. I don't think men. Honestly, I don't think men are intimidated by successful women. Most dudes, right, that find themselves in a relationship where the woman, and it ain't necessarily that they're more successful. A lot of times they just out earning them, and a lot of those dudes are finessing those women. I hear dudes all the time, like those type of dudes. Them dudes be on some old, yeah, she bought me this, she bought me that, whoopty woo. Like those are the max and the players. Real spill. But there ain't no dude out here running around intimidated by a successful woman. Like, I ain't trying to be funny, man. Like, we men don't care. Like we don't care. We don't care about your accolades. We don't care about your degrees unless it's building the business. Like we don't. Like even on the blue collar level, dudes don't. We have seen people come into this space. I won't name names, but we have seen older people come into this space and say, "Hey, I'm married late, and I'm more successful than my husband, and my husband does this, but he doesn't care." Matter of fact, I just heard her say the other day he retired her. You know, nobody intimidated by no successful woman. Man, do your thing. Get your man. Do what you do, but can you fall under the program? That's what men are concerned with.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody concerned about or intimidated by a woman out earning them. They concerned about the fact that okay, hold on real quick, Court. What men are concerned about is that for the last 20, 30, 40 years, women have told men, you know, y'all need to level up. You need to get on my level, boo, and da 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 da. All the while, all these incentives that have the government has given for women to level up, so on and so forth, and that they've been able to take advantage of. And you know, they're the most college enrolled and they're the most educated. Like all of those things, men don't care about, because the pandemic really just showed you that.
Really is so wrong on this.
Okay, I hear you, Anton, and you're
so wrong on this.
I hear you, because the pandemic. Listen, the pandemic
go to Courtney
showed you.
First.
The pandemic just showed you that men ain't intimidated by nothing. The men that work with their hands, the men that are plumbers.
What does the pandemic have to do with anything with regard to intimidation?
Well,
of a
Anton,
man
please, bro, because
what does that got to do with any dog? What does that have to do with the price of potatoes?
Educate us all. Anton, you got it. You got it.
I do.
You got all
I do.
Hold on, Anton. We go to Courtney first.
No.
Oh,
I want no.
No, go ahead, Courtney.
No.
I'm gonna be here. I got time. I
do too, bro. I close tomorrow. So while he got his red cup and he decided to cut in while I was giving my answer, educate us all, bro. Tell us how men are intimidated by women.
Hold tight, brother. Go ahead, Courtney.
Well, I mean, I'll yield it to Anton.
Why do you think that a lot of women say things like, when I'm all dialed up and dressed up and things like that, that men don't want to come up to me, but then when I'm just looking like anything, that men feel more comfortable approaching them? Why do you think that women say that all the time? Why do you think that we have conversations about a man dealing with a woman that make more than them, and then the woman at some point emasculating him in a relationship? Why do you think that women even care? Because a lot of women that I know that make a lot of money, right? They're more concerned with companionship than they are with about earning, right? So what happens is a lot of times they are confused about the idea of how marriage works. And so they'll talk about looking for a partner instead of looking for a husband. But at the same time, their mindset and approaching it is completely different than what it is that you framing it. Now, when you talking about a dude that's, finessing a chick, listen, that's kid talk. We grown over here. We not talking about none of that. We talking about men that's moving intentionally when it comes to relationships and getting married. And so when you start to have that conversation, men ultimately are intimidated because they know what they can and can't get overwhelmingly. Of course, you're going to have the dudes that move with a level of confidence that they feel like they can get any woman in the world. But the overwhelming majority of dudes don't even approach women.